Hello. I'm here with Josh, the first person evicted of BB18 Unfinished Business. This is Houston. They had a problem. So, Josh, what was the problem? What happened?
I was fucking lied to, and I was honest with everybody.
Are you upset about that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very upset.
Do you think you have an idea of what happened, who lied to you, any clue, or is this a blind side?
I think that everybody was... I think that nobody had confidence in personally. Well, okay, I'm not gonna go on a total attack on everybody, but I don't think that everybody had an idea of the game they wanted to play, and I think that everybody, or obviously a vast majority of people came in with an idea that they were just gonna kind of play a game that everybody wanted to go with, and because I was the person who stood up and said, let's play a game, even though I was super open about playing any game, people just got really scared of that. So they went with somebody who they thought was most ambiguous and they thought they could make the most amount of promises to, and then they picked somebody who was super scary and somebody who wasn't scary at all. And I didn't even think I was being that scary, because I was perfectly honest with everybody, and I only told people 2 names about people who weren't even playing at the time, and apparently that left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And then I was lied to by 4 people, possibly 5, that were going to support me in keeping me steady.
Well, it sounds like you had a strategy coming into today. Can you tell me more about that strategy and maybe why it didn't work?
I mean, I just came in and I decided that I wasn't going... I mean, I was okay with winning the first HOH. I didn't really care. I don't think that was a really big deal. I think the only reason that that became the issue was because I saw that Christian was gaining more favor, and Christian scared me more about having him as HOH for this exact situation than it would have as having even me or James, because we were going to play a more conservative and more concise game. Rather, Christian got elected as HOH, and then he just kind of let everybody do their own thing, which isn't safe. Nobody's safe in that instance. And the only reason that plan that kind of worked for anybody was because I just decided to be honest and have just an opinion. I mean, I wasn't even targeting anybody big. Nobody had any reason to be scared of me, and I think I laid out an excellent point about why I wasn't and why I could be better for their game than what they're going to go through now. Because the next thing they're going to go through is that unless somebody who has a real agenda gets elected, it's just going to be the same whole thing over and over again. That's just what's going to happen.
Well, maybe in the Big Brother house, honesty isn't the best policy.
Damn. That's what I got cut for last time. So
this is outer space themed, if you haven't caught on.
Yeah.
So I want to know, which planet are you and why?
I'm thinking of all the jokes I can make about Uranus, but I'm Uranus because I just got shit on.
That's a solid answer, and I'm really proud of you for coming up with that.
Thank you.
Another little fun question for you. Which space icon do you think you are? For example, you can be the alien from Alien, Xenon, girl of the 21st century. You can be E.T. You can be E.T. in drag.
I'm Ziggy Stardust.
Ziggy Stardust. Do you have a reason why, or is that just what your heart says?
Because I don't know where I'm going, but I promise it won't be boring.
Wow. Wow, America. Wow. So, I know we're just getting started. This is only the first round. But, do you have an inkling of who might win this game? And also, who would you like to see out next?
Honestly, there are 4 people I'd be fine to see out next. I still don't even really have a beef with anybody in particular. The biggest beef I have are the people who just told me that they were going to support me and then didn't. But obviously that's just because they were my lifeline on staying in the game or not, and they just screwed me when they told me they weren't. Honestly, the way that this game is being played right now, I have no clue. Right now, somehow Christian is probably the person with the most amount of power who's viewed with the least amount of threat, which is a pretty damn good position to be in. And yeah, I don't know why that's the game that everybody wanted to play, because part of me was kind of banging on the fact that having me in was that it would force them to play an actual game, but everybody's really scared of that. So honestly, right now, everybody's kind of up in the air on what they're going to do next. Nobody knows. And I was talking to everybody, campaigning fervently, trying to get other people to support me, And somehow everybody's opinion still got changed, which means that they were too scared of me to make a decision on what kind of a game they actually want to play. So nobody this next round is going to actually be having any idea what they're going to do. I predict. Now maybe somebody could stand up and do something really bold, but I don't know. I don't have an idea who could possibly win this game.
Do you if you could name one person to get evicted next, give it to me. Lay it down. Give me a name. I want a name.
Oh man. Oh God. I don't know. It'd be whoever's the flakiest, I guess. And everybody was changing so much. I don't know if anybody's more to blame than the other. Mac has a possibility of going up again because whenever you're whenever you're put up kind of as a under the radar, no bounds kind of person, that usually kind of persists. In my last BB17 game, that kind of floater type figure, Jillian, she was put up I think she was put up every round for the first 4 or 5 rounds, maybe 6. So Matt could possibly go home. And then I just don't know. I have no clue who made deals with who. I have no earthly clue.
Okay. Well, the last question I have for you is, do you think you'd do anything different with your game today if you got to do it over again?
I mean, knowing this, obviously I just keep my mouth shut because that worked for everybody. But, I mean, the last game I played, I was loud too, but I was aggressive. This game, I just talked. And I wasn't even really aggressive. I just said, I said what I had heard everybody else thinking of, which is what everybody said. But then because I actually said names, that really intimidated everybody. Which I don't think is something that you can exactly foresee when you're talking about the same people that everybody else is talking about. The only difference was that everybody was talking about these 2 people, but they weren't actually telling everybody else, and then I was actually telling everybody else. And I ran on a platform of honesty and reliability, and they chose the wishy-washy side that they couldn't really get a pin on versus my side. Because apparently that was more of a threat to them, even though it wouldn't have been. But there would have been a majority of people with a really strong and reliable supporter versus a couple little separate groups that had an understanding while other people kind of just floated around them. And if that's the game people want to play, then don't hate the player, hate the game, but it was, everybody played into that game really, yeah.
Well, this has been the first episode of Houston, They Had a Problem with Josh. I'll see you next time after the next person is evicted from BB18 Unfinished Business. Strike a pose with me.